a reality as we're trying to dive into that a little bit, inshallah, today. So marriage expectations, first and foremost, the very popular hadith that we have heard from the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, that's often quoted and often romanticized, is that marriage is half of your faith, is marriage is half of your deen. This is a beautiful hadith, and it just talks about just the value and the virtue of marriage. But a lot of times people will over romanticize it to the extent of where I've heard people say something like, I'm a half a person and this person is a half a person and we complete one another, or I'll only be complete and fully fulfilled once I've become married, right? And sometimes we're putting expectations and ideas in marriage that are not necessarily true. So when we're saying marriage is half of your faith, there is virtue and value. Anything that's part of your faith is going to be rewarding, but at the same time, it's going to be difficult. What else is part of your faith is praying Fajr on time, making wudu in the winter time, right? Paying 2.5% of your zakah. These are also things that are part of our faith, and they have tremendous reward and virtue, but they also have responsibilities, difficulties, and challenges in them. And that's something that a lot of men and women might be afraid of. They might say, well, I'm afraid of the responsibility and the challenges that marriage will bring. And I say to that, what have we ever strived for in our lives? What have we ever accomplished in our lives that was worth working for, that wasn't difficult, that wasn't challenging? Everything, your degree, your relationships with your family, anything that required work, a certain accomplishment, whether it's with diet or goal or whether weight loss or with exercise or fitness, it requires effort. So marriage is not any different. If anything, it might be one of the most challenging things for you in your life. Many people, they will say that one of the most challenging aspects of their life has been marriage. And they'll also say some of the most beneficial, fruitful, most enjoyable things of life also come from marriage as well. So it can definitely be the most bitter relationship and the most challenging relationship for some. And it can also be the most pleasant and the most beautiful relationship. And we as Muslims, we strive for fulfilling the dua that we're taught at the end of Surah Furqan, رَبَّنَا هَبْ لَنَا مِنْ أَزْوَاجِنَا وَذُرِّيَّاتِنَا قُرَّةَ أَعْيُنٍ وَجَعَلْنَا لِلْمُتَّقِينَ إِمَامًا. We're asking Allah to make our family members, our spouses and our children, the coolness of our eyes, the comfort, the tranquility of this world. Not that when we come home, we're distressed and we are absolutely, dreading the moment that we have to walk into the house. Rather, we find a sense of comfort and peace. And that doesn't mean that it's peaceful all the time and it's going to be calm and relaxed all the time, but yet for the majority of time, that relationship provides you with those foundations of goodness, of love, of care, of appreciation. So the tests of marriage are endless and, numerous, because it is another aspect of life that has been added on. And when you add on children, when you add on perhaps us growing older and older and our parents becoming older, and now you're worried about your elderly parents, you're worried about your younger children, you're worried about your spouse, it goes into the realm of that challenges and difficulty will keep on persisting. There will always be challenges, things will get difficult, and there will be anxieties and pressures. But as believers, we trust in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we prepare ourselves to the best of our ability, and we take that step forward having reliance and trust in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Otherwise, we would say, well, what's the point of even having a degree? What's the